You know, we live in a world that's constantly demanding our attention, our energy, our opinions. It can feel like we're always on, expected to react, to engage, to explain ourselves. But what about the power of silence, the power of walking away, not in anger or defeat, but in the quiet strength of knowing your worth? Today we're going to explore that very thing. We're going to talk about what it means to find your voice, not by shouting to be heard, but by stepping back, by choosing silence, and by owning the power that comes with it. Walking away without a word can be one of the most powerful things you can do. It's a declaration that you are in control of your emotions, that you don't need to justify yourself or engage in unnecessary conflict. It's a display of self-respect, of knowing that your energy is precious and not to be wasted on what doesn't serve you. Think about it. When you react in the heat of the moment, you're often coming from a place of ego, of needing to prove something. But when you choose silence, you choose yourself. You choose your peace, your integrity. You choose to rise above the fray. Here's the thing about silence. It can be incredibly unsettling for those who are used to getting a reaction. When you don't engage, when you don't give them the satisfaction of a response, it forces them to confront their own behavior, their own assumptions. Suddenly they're left with the echo of your silence, and it speaks volumes. It speaks of your strength, your self-awareness, and your refusal to be drawn into their drama. And that, my friends, is a powerful message. So often we feel like we have to explain ourselves to justify our boundaries, but the truth is sometimes the most powerful boundary you can set is silence. When you walk away, you're saying, without saying a word, this is where I draw the line, this is not okay. It's a dignified refusal to participate in situations that drain you, that disrespect you, that diminish your light. And in a world that constantly tries to push our boundaries, that's a radical act of self-love. Chapter 4. Silence signals finality. Words, as powerful as they can also be messy. They can be misinterpreted, twisted, used against us. But silence is definitive. When you leave silently, it signals that the conversation, the argument, maybe even the relationship has reached its end on your terms. It's a statement of closure that needs no elaboration, no defense. It simply is. And in its simplicity, it speaks volumes. Chapter 5. It amplifies presence in absence. This is one of the beautiful paradoxes of silence. It makes your absence even more noticeable. When you withdraw without explanation, without fanfare, it forces others to feel the weight of your departure. It makes them realize that your presence was a gift, a privilege, not something to be taken for granted. And sometimes that's the most powerful message you can send. Chapter 6. It protects your peace. Let's be honest, sometimes the kindest thing you can do for yourself is to walk away. To choose silence over chaos, over drama, over the endless cycle of needing to be right or to have the last word. Walking away in silence is a way of prioritizing your inner peace, of protecting your heart from unnecessary noise. It's a way of saying my well-being matters, my peace matters. Chapter 7. It speaks of confidence. To walk away silently without needing to explain yourself, to justify your actions, that takes courage. It takes a deep sense of self-worth, a knowing that your value doesn't hinge on others' validation. It's a quiet confidence that speaks volumes. It says, I am comfortable with who I am comfortable with my choices, and I don't need your approval to walk my path. Chapter 8. It forces reflection. One of the most powerful things about silence is that it forces reflection. When you walk away without engaging, it leaves the other person with their thoughts, their actions, their role in the situation. It compels them to ask themselves some hard questions, to consider the impact of their words and behaviors. And sometimes that's the greatest gift you can give them, the gift of their own reflection. Outro, the quiet revolution. We are taught to believe that our voice, our words, are our greatest weapons. And don't get me wrong, words have the power to move mountains. But sometimes real strength lies in knowing when to hold back, when to choose silence, when to let our absence speak volumes. Because in the quiet space of our own choosing, we find our power. We find our peace. We find our truth. And that, my friends, is a revolution worth embracing.